What is going on, everybody? We are live. Underground Runaround episode number 20. YouTube exclusive. No, it's not an exclusive. I apologize. A YouTube live exclusive special. There you go. It's exclusively live on YouTube right now. It will be on Apple and Spotify by the morning, of course. But I am your host, Brad Ross, here again with my co-host, Pav Daddy. Pav Daddy, you got some news for us in terms of infrastructure in the village. So, what happened in the village? Please tell us.
I finally got hooked up to fiber internet, and it was always a joy, a total joy to deal with. They forgot to take a picture of the fucking label on the modem when they hooked me up, and I had to call to find that out. So they weren't even going to call me and tell me, But like my neighbor got hooked up with and got turned on, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, they called me." I'm like, what the fuck, man? They should have called me and turned me on. So I called them and I'm like, hey, what's going on? They're like, well, let us check. And they're like, the person that was installing it was new and they didn't take a picture of the thing. And I talked to the guy, he wasn't new. He's been there for like a year and a half. So it's fucking bullshit, but whatever. But yeah, I finally got turned on. So we got some, I could maybe, stream without losing connection here.
It's going to be amazing, dude. You got better internet than I do in the city. So the village is holding it down with the fiber internet. So they get some cowbells. That's all. That's all we needed to do. We just upgraded the podcast. So the experience is even going to get worse for you guys at home. So stay tuned for fiber internet. Baseball's rocking, dude.
Yeah.
We're starting to get rocking and rolling. I mean, there are some weird things being said and kind of going around with, like, I saw a couple highlight clips where they showed a couple players with the same exact exit velo and launch angle and the ball going significantly farther than the balls from this year with the same exit velo and launch angle. So that's kind of weird. I don't know all the science behind it. They were all different players, so does launch angle and exit velo mean the same distance every time? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I mean, it's early, so like, I don't know. They changed the fucking ball. They keep changing the ball.
But is it just cold weather? I that's what I chalk it up to. It's April. God. It's not full on summer yet, Plus, they said they were changing the ball anyway, and then last year they said they were using two different types of balls anyhow. So it is what it is. Other than that, we got Miggy chasing 3,000 hits. And today we had it on Miggy Watch while I was doing breaks today.
And 3 for 4 yesterday.
Yeah,
I almost did it one game.
He started off 3 for 3.
That would have been pretty fucking sweet, dude.
A broken bat infield single for his third hit. That's why I thought for sure he was going to get it in his fourth at bat. Like, oh, he already got the cheap hit, if you will. He just kind of put one in the right spot. And today, he flew out to left, his first at bat. And then he struck out.
Struck out twice.
He struck out a second at bat. Excuse me. He struck out his third at bat, and then they intentionally walked him, which I thought was a bad move. Like, if I was the Yankees manager in that situation, it was second and third, 2 outs. First base was open, but there was 2 outs. So it's pick your poison is the game you're playing. And he decided that he would rather pitch to Austin Meadows than Miguel Cabrera. And in today's times and their respective physical abilities, no disrespect to Miggy, but if I'm trying to win a game, I'm pitching to Miggy. So I just think it was the wrong move in general. And then Austin Meadows just dumped a little turd in the center field, scored 2 runs. So it worked out for the Tigers. And Miggy even told the crowd, he's like, be quiet. He pointed to the scoreboard and gave him a 3-0. You know, like to the fans because they were all mad. You know, understandably so. But it was just, I think it was just a bad like Boone. I don't know. It's easy to hate on the Yankees. It's so
they talked to Miggy afterwards, and they talked to Boone afterwards, and they talked to whoever manages the Tigers nowadays. But they all said that they would have walked Miggy in that situation. They all understood it.
Nope. I don't like it at all. I would rather pitch to Miggy than fucking Austin Meadows. I get the lefty matchup that they were, you know, all of that, but he's 0 for 3. He just struck out twice, you know. They've been facing a lefty all day with Montgomery pitching before that, so, you know, I'm not trying to hear it.
Miggy got really offended too. Like, you know, dude, I'm not about personal accomplishments. When has this game ever been about personal accomplishments? So
yeah,
Miggy's he's first ballot Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Especially like 3,000 hits is a for sure thing now. So
to put that in perspective, put this in perspective for people. Miggy was playing in the Bartman game, correct? Was he on that Marlins team?
Maybe, yeah, huh?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's how long he's been playing fucking baseball. He played in the Bartman game with the Marlins.
Yeah.
Young Miggy. You know what I mean? Think about how long ago that was for you. That's how long that dude's been dominating in baseball, and he's not dominating anymore. But holy cow. Holy cow. Longer than a lot of people, you know, a lot of sports fans have been alive. It's a long time.
He and consistently.
And he was already a veteran by then. I think he was a rookie, what, 2001?
No,
2000?
2003 he was a rookie. So that's his rookie season. But then, I mean, immediate all-star the next year, you know?
Yeah.
And consistently just hit 30, 40 home runs. So, I mean, he's a pretty easy first ballot. He's going to have 500 home runs and 3,000 hits. And, dude, putting up serious numbers. When does he retire? Is this it?
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
what's his contract? That's one thing I don't know. What he has left on his contract. And other than that, I think it's just up to him.
Oh my God!
What?
He is signed. What, through 2025 basically?
Oh wow!
But it's vesting options. So like 2024. He gets $30 million if he finishes in the top 10 of MVP voting in 2023.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, he has interest in doing well.
Sure.
Dude, it's got to be tough.
Is he going to be a top 10 and MVP kind of player, though? Come on.
No.
Okay.
No, probably not.
Exactly. I'm not
he hasn't hit 30 home runs since 2016.
I'm the biggest fan of his. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying this out of a negative space. Like, I love the dude, but no, let's be real here. It's not happening. Like, I don't think it's going to be a feat if Pujols hits his 21 homers this year. You know, he's gotten off to kind of a good start. An unexpected start, I think.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know what his numbers are, but it's, you know, an unexpected start. And I'm still not
389.
Yeah.
2 home runs.
How many at bats?
18 at bats.
Yeah, so he's not getting much playing time at all.
No. 5 games.
Is he hurt?
21 plate appearances.
Yeah, he's not going to get it.
No. You know, who knows what the hell. Maybe he just goes up there and swings as hard as he can every time he goes up to bat this whole year. It's going to be one of those guys with, like, you know,
some pitchers along the way sacrificing themselves. They're like, here, Albert, I got one for you. Just swing, buddy. Here comes a
Jesus.
juicy fastball that's gonna register like a changeup. You know what I mean? Just throw him a fucking 80-mile-an-hour cock shot. Let him eat.
Do we ever see anybody hit 700 home runs again? Is that like a thing of the past now?
I don't know because they keep changing the game. Like, yeah, you haven't changed what the definition of a home run is, but with the balls getting changed and back and forth, and I don't know. I don't
I,
know.
I don't
Now
think
there's
we
gonna be
see.
a pitch clock. Like, I don't know.
I just don't think we see enough guys come up young enough anymore. Where like even the guys like Julio Rodriguez and that, they're not coming up when they're 19 anymore.
I
So
don't.
it's
Do you think like here? Listen, hear me out. Do you think Soto turns into like a big time power hitter later in his career? Like, I know some of those guys did
no,
it because of the sauce, but like, do you think when he like,
no, I don't think he will. I think
because he
he'll
can
actually
hit.
hit less home runs and just keep hitting for it. I mean, he's gonna peak out, and then like when he gets into the, I think he'll be a lot like Miguel Cabrera with his numbers. I think that's what
That's
Soto's
still really
numbers will be
good
like.
numbers, dude.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think like the idea of like 700 home runs is ever. But like Miguel Cabrera only hit 40 home runs a few times.
Yeah, I
You
don't.
know, it's just longevity. But that's the
Right.
thing is Cabrera was fucking playing when he was 19.
Yeah.
You know, so like, are we going to see guys like that anymore? I don't know how often we're going to see that anymore.
Yeah.
So he played. He was 20 in 2003. It's
Yeah. I
tough, but
mean,
he's nowhere close. So like Pujols, you know, how old was Pujols when he started? The question nobody has an answer for.
I don't know. I want to know how old he is now. You know what do they say? He's 42 right now.
Says he's 42,
He
but
doesn't.
he's probably like 45, don't you think?
It wouldn't surprise me. I guess. You know, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Again, he never hit 50 home runs. So I mean that's pretty impressive to close in on 700 without ever hitting 50 home runs. I mean, when you really think about like the guys that are up there, I, I don't. Hank Aaron never hit 50, right? So like, it's a whole playing this whole span of years that and just consistently hitting 30 to 40 home runs over and over, and you can't get injured, you can't be missing years, you can't have a year where you hit fucking 10. You just have to consistently hit 30, 40 home runs for
Yeah,
20 years.
Hank Aaron hit 47 in 1971.
Yeah, he
That's
never
the
hit 50, right?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
most.
so
He led the league a few times, 4 times, but never hit 50.
like Pujols is the same thing, never hit 50 home runs. So I mean but it's that ability to continually hit, because a lot of guys hit, will have years where they hit a lot of home runs, and then years where it's pretty interesting how people go back and forth so much, and
Yeah,
then you have these few guys that are really consistent.
he hit 49 in 2006. Got second in the MVP that year. 49 home runs, 137 driven in. What he hit? 331 and doesn't win MVP. Who the hell won MVP in 2006? Ryan Howard.
Oh my God.
You want to hear? Oh, you so I know
Talk
why
about
people. I know why people are mad about it because Pujols was far better at defense, but Howard hit 58 home runs and knocked in 149, and had a higher on base percentage.
Yeah.
Lower batting average, higher on base percentage. Because Howard was super patient. He'd strike out looking. He struck out looking a lot because he would take his walks too. Like he was just a guy who stood up there and waited for a pitch in his cutout, his half size cutout of the actual strike zone. And if he got a pitch there, he was gonna hit it to fucking Jupiter. And if he didn't get it, he was just gonna stand there or keep it moving.
He's a shining example of what most baseball players are. When you bring up these guys that are 24, 25 years old, you get 5 decent years out of them, and then they don't have it anymore. And I don't. That is one thing. Like those second contracts that guys get, hardly ever work out for anyone. Most people don't have a good second half of their career.
After 31, he was pretty much finished.
Just toast.
Yeah. From 26 to 31, he was great. After that, it was a wrap.
Yeah. He almost hit 400 home runs. That's pretty fucking wild.
382 in 13 years. And most of them, 4 of those years were not healthy years. They weren't full seasons. His first 2 years and then age 32 and 33. So, yeah, even if he would have been healthy for 13 years, he would have hit way more than 400. Probably like 420 or so.
It's just so hard for guys to have a good, once they hit 32, I mean, most guys just drop off a cliff. So it's I'm
just
tough.
on Baseball Reference, by the way, for anybody watching this or listening later on, just where we're getting our numbers from, so you don't know that we're not talking out of our ass, and you might hear keyboard. So apologies for that, headphone people. You might hear some keyboard today on Underground Runaround's ASMR fucking numbers podcast. So there you go. Back to the baseball players. So who else? Who else do you want to talk about? What's going on?
Let me ask you something.
Okay. Yeah. No, go ahead. So we got Miggy at almost 3K. We're still waiting, trying to get there.
Yeah.
But you want it?
I was going to ask how deep into the season do we have to get before people's output matters in the card market?
Oh, dude, I don't know. It's a hell of a question. I mean, right now, technically, if people are selling cards for a premium because somebody's doing well right now, then it's already begun. Because I think you're seeing an uptick, like Buxton got hot out of the gate, so some Minnesota people are wanting, you know what I mean? Teams, if let me put it this way, I guess for collector people, for collector folks, it's a brand new season. Everybody's super excited. If a player on their team's doing well, they're going to be looking to pick up those guys. Or if they have new guys on their team, they might be looking to pick up some of those new guys. So that sort of thing's going on right now as like a big singular hobby. I don't know if anybody's gotten that big push yet, just based on performance. I mean, it might happen. It might have happened to some smaller players, but I don't really track a lot of it, man. I'm more of like a long-term guy, I believe in the hobby itself as a whole in the long term. In some of those games I'm playing, I don't have the time to run the business and do what I do and worry about constant ups and downs and when's the right time to make your moves. I'm not doing that. And I don't want to be the guy that beats people down on like a really good deal all the time just to get a card where you could flip for a profit just because of where I'm at. So like, I don't want to give myself that reputation, so I don't really mess with it a lot. I just go about my business, another way, and then play the long term on guys I like when they're super young.
So are you long term holding Vladdy then?
I think so. I mean, obviously, if it ever takes or if I ever think it's gonna take a turn, then I can exit out of most of my positions at any time. But yeah, Vladdy, why not? He's incredible. He's incredible. And how old is he?
Do you still have some no numbers out there in a PSA or anything?
I have raw. I have a bunch of raw that I haven't sent. I haven't sent anything to PSA in forever.
I
I
remember
have a lot of stuff.
Brett had a whole crap load of the numbers as well.
Yeah, Brett had a million. So yeah, Vladdy's 23 in 36 days. So he's only he's a young 23. He's at 77 career home runs. His right now, as it is, his 162 game average, and I don't even consider him to be in his prime yet, is 35 home runs, 101 RBIs, and a 368 on base. So come on, what are we talking about? This kid's 23. Like, yeah, he only has double that for career numbers. So you're only like taking a guess, but still, I still think those can go up. I think those types of numbers have room to grow into a bigger direction. So I mean, I don't know where that equates in the current market, if it's too late to get in on him or not. But excuse me, but I think he's going to get better. If Tatis could get healthy and stay healthy, I don't know. I just, most guys, once they start getting hurt, it's a career thing. So if by some stroke of genius he like gets right and all it is his from his accident and he gets his shoulder figured out, that dude could hit 100 home runs in a season. It's crazy.
He is someone I stayed away from.
I have some Vladdy stuff, but look at this dude.
Not Vladdy, Tatis.
Or
I stayed away
Tatis, yeah.
from Tatis.
He only had 480 at bats last year and hit 42 home runs.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's not going to hit for a ridiculous average, but that little wiry dude, oh my goodness. He's kind of tall and he's kind of built like a wire. Dude just coils up and lets it loose, and he's 23. And he has 81 career home runs. So I mean, he's a guy, if he can stay healthy. Absolutely no reason he can't be in that same type of longevity conversation.
You think Vlad holds up then?
I think so, because he's taking care of his body. He's made a commitment to it as long as he stays disciplined. Now, if it took him a while to get that discipline, so if he can continue to have it, then I don't see why he's not going to have the opportunity to, at least from a physical standpoint. So if he's taking care of his body, he's going to be in good shape. Can't wait to see, Acuna back. I think he started his rehab assignment today. That's news. I think it was today or yesterday maybe. But Acuna is supposed to be back sometime next month. He's playing games, He's just getting his spring training in right now and making sure his leg's good. He's a little bit older than those guys. I think he's 24, but still, I mean, he's got 105 career home runs and 78 stolen bases. He's another great guy too. I mean, these are household names, and these guys are all still so incredibly young, younger than most of the rookies coming into the league. So, and they're already way more accomplished than anybody coming in. They're just already ahead.
Okay. So who's the first one to win MVP? Vladdy?
Depends on what Ohtani does, man. Ohtani, here's a hot take. I think Vladdy should have won MVP last year because I don't think a 250 batting average makes you the MVP because you can throw 100 miles an hour. And I love what Ohtani's doing. I'm not disrespecting him. But the Blue Jays were a lot closer to the playoffs than the Angels were. And without Vladdy, they're not that close. I mean, it was the last weekend of the season. They had a chance. Them, the Mariners, there were a few teams fighting for them spots. So, yeah, I think Vladdy was far more valuable. Like, yeah, Ohtani can pitch and hit, but if he doesn't pitch on his schedule and he causes hiccups in your rotation, is that valuable? Or is that like a hindrance because now you got to maybe make a roster move or you mess up somebody else's schedule? I'm not talking shit either. I'm just saying. The dude can hit absolute bombs. But he's almost 28. He's at, what is it? What's he at here? He's only got 96 career home runs. He's almost 28. You want to hold that long term? Like, or is it just going to be a novelty? Talk pitching stats. I don't think they're incredible. He pitches. He's a really good pitcher. I like watching him pitch. But he's you know, what metric do you want? He's got a career 3.59 ERA. He's only started 38 games in 4 years. Granted, he's had Tommy John. He has 248. Excuse me. Holy cow. He's got 248 strikeouts in 198 innings. It's just ginger ale, dude. I apologize, everybody at home. This is the Underground Runaround. We're just that professional. And I'm not shitting on Ohtani, but he's above average at both sides of baseball. I don't know. That doesn't make you the MVP to me. That just makes you better than most at pitching and better than most at hitting, but you're not the best. Like, that's all. Like, that's my. I don't know how else to explain it. Every one of Vladdy Jr.'s batting numbers nowadays is better than Ohtani's hitting numbers, and the pitching numbers don't matter because he's not the best pitcher. So there's other pitchers that are better than him. Vladdy Jr. doesn't need to be a better pitcher than him because Vladdy Jr. is not trying to be a fucking pitcher. He's just trying to hit home runs. I play offense, and what he does, he's better than Ohtani at. So yeah, he's the MVP to me.
It's tough because I mean, you need to have a discussion then. What is an MVP? So do we need an Offensive Player of the Year award?
No,
is that what we need?
Here's the thing: when Ohtani's pitching and not being the best pitcher, Vladdy Jr. is playing first base and not being the best first baseman. So those two things just fucking wash out. Like, yeah, one's more impressive than the other, but they're both doing something, and they both have to do that thing at that same time. So that's it. It's a team game.
I think because of the stat, the new stat, man, wins above replacement. They're just gonna keep falling on that.
Ugh.
It's
easy to do it, right? Somebody else made the formula. That's why it's their fault. Damn metrics.
I mean, that's why Chris Bryant won the MVP.
Yeah, Chris Bryant scored a ton of runs too, though, from the 2-hole.
I'm just saying. That's why he won it.
I defend Chris Bryant's MVP though. He's way more, doing way more things. He scored 121 runs that year. 35 doubles, 39 home runs, 102 RBIs, and he stole 8 bases with a 385 on base, 292, 385. Who finished second this year? Daniel Murphy finished second with 25 home runs, 104 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, and a 390 on base. Yeah, Chris Bryant definitely won, and he only scored 88 runs.
Nolan Arenado had a good year that year.
Arenado was 5th, 41 and 133, a 294 and 362. How did he finish 5th? There's the question you should be asking. They probably said Colorado.
Yeah, that too.
Rizzo finished 4th that year. He finished ahead of Nolan with 32 and 109 and a 385 on base. I mean, those are fantastic years. Seager finished 3rd. I don't understand Seager's at all. 26 home runs and 72 RBIs. 3 stolen bases.
WAR? I don't know. No,
5.2.
Yeah.
But Chris Bryant had the highest WAR. So
yeah.
But Freddie Freeman was 2nd. Or actually, Max Scherzer was 2nd, but he finished 10th.
Jean Segura.
Freeman finished 6th.
Had 6.4 WAR. He had 203 hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to what's going on for real, though. What the hell's going on with Oakland and their attendance? Oh my goodness. Their AAA team is outdrawing them in attendance.
You would think the other owners would get pissed at some point, just because they're going to be living off of their revenue shares,
they have
right?
to share. Yeah, like we have to share this with you, and that's the only reason you're going to
Jesus.
exist. Yeah, I don't know. How much does one team get per year from all the revenue sharing? Like what's that split? Do you have any idea? I wonder if we could find that out.
I think we can.
Find out like what the owner's revenue split is per team.
48% of the revenue they earn.
The owners
Each team pools 48% of the revenue they earn, and the total amount is then split evenly, given to each team.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
MLB teams, here we go.
That's a lot of money, dude.
MLB teams will receive at least $100 million annually from TV rights contracts. So, like, that's just from the TV rights contracts. Yeah.
Holy cow.
60.1 million for that's what they get for their TV contracts. But that's fucking crazy. Teams receive more than 110 million through revenue sharing.
I wonder what's a team's like operating expense. What does it cost to run a team for a year? I'm sure all teams have like a bare minimum cost.
I don't know because most of the stadiums and stuff, they use third party to do the concessions. So they're just taking a percentage of that from the people that are actually, so that's not even an expense for them, right? That's fucking. So like
they just rent the space basically. Come sell your food.
Oakland's just fucking sucking $200 million out of the MLB every year.
If they could keep their expense down, if they can keep it under that number plus their player salary, like I wonder how much travel for the year costs. Like I'm sure that costs a ton of money. Putting your team in hotels and flying all those flights.
They maybe I wonder.
Flights ain't cheap right now, dude. Holy fuck.
Right. But I imagine like they have a team jet, right, that they're flying, and then like
do all teams have jets? Would you want to get on Oakland's jet right now?
You think this is the fucking Major League, huh? This is that was real. They're flying.
No way. I'm setting foot on the fucking Athletics plane right now.
They got propellers on the fucking plane. No,
I can't do it.
I like I mean, I'd imagine like a lot of the hotels and everything fucking comp rooms for those guys, right? They're not paying for that shit.
I don't know.
Dude, they don't pay for anything really.
Expensive.
You think like all those guys are getting gloves, they're getting bats. They don't pay for that shit.
I don't know, dude.
It's interesting.
Yeah, real interesting. Not all players have endorsements and shit, though, either. I don't know. The team doesn't buy them like their equipment. I would assume they have to buy their own shit.
For the gloves and bats?
Well, like, yeah. Or like cleats.
No way. If you go MLB, fucking Rawlings is calling you and saying, dude, you're gonna wear a Rawlings glove.
Hell yeah!
We're sending. I guarantee it, dude. Most of those guys, even if they're not getting paid a lot of money, they're getting gloves. You know, like who?
We got shit in college, so I mean, I
Who?
get it. But we still had to buy some shit. Like, but it wasn't I don't know, it was like fundraising.
Nick Bennett, right? He got a glove done, right?
Yeah, he's with somebody. I forget who, but yeah, Nick is.
So I mean, most of these guys have deals before they ever go to the MLB. So as soon as they're playing pro ball, man, they're getting deals for bats.
He played some high profile college ball too, though. I mean, he played at Louisville and the College World Series twice.
Most of them do, though. You know, so I mean,
I know, but I'm just saying, like he wasn't like an under the radar dude. Like,
no, but they're taking care of you. It's pretty interesting. I wonder what Oakland clears just for owning a team.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. I don't like it. Their attendance is atrocious. It's the worst. It's literally the worst it's been.
Crazy.
Yeah, somebody on Twitter was trying to throw shade at the Rays Cubs game. They're like took a picture of Wrigley Field. Like, this looks like 900 people. Well, the paid attendance was like 23,000. So yeah, paid attendance or not, like they still sold 23,000 tickets for that game. The weather was awful. Put that in some context, please. They ended up getting rained out after 6 innings anyway, and they pushed the start time of the game up an hour to try and enjoy the weather.
It started even earlier. It started like 6. It was supposed to be like 7:40, and they said 6:40. Then it started at like 6:25 or something.
Yeah,
because they were just trying to get it in. And they got rained out anyway, and the Cubs got their fucking asses kicked.
Right, and the people were talking shit on Twitter because there was nobody there. Like mad athletics fans. Like,
and it was raining the whole fucking game.
Defending
the people were out there in fucking. They're out there in raincoats.
Yeah.
Sit comfy in your fucking dome. Tell me again.
Enjoy the foul territory.
Dude,
you guys are so far away from the field with all your foul territory. And your tickets are expensive. It's unbelievable.
And then they said Oakland's one of the worst fucking fields.
They doubled their prices basically from last year or from like 2020 or something. Like
really?
That. Yeah, they like doubled it.
You'd think like the concession stands and stuff would start boycotting. Like, fuck this.
We're not working here. We're losing money to set up and operate and shit. Yeah, I wonder. You wonder if the concession people are losing money just like setting up because there's not that many people there. Like,
that's not that many people.
There's more people at almost any other type of event. They had 2,000 something people last night. Granted, their attendance was up today to like 42 something, but still, that's not like that's not.
You can't blame it on the weather there either. Fuck. That's bad.
You can't blame it on they were playing the Orioles, but still.
That's bad.
That's bad. That means they don't even have, they don't even have 3,000 season ticket holders if they only had an attendance in the 2,600s or something. That's bad.
They used to be a well-represented team.
Yeah, I mean they have fans, and a lot of people like them because the whole Moneyball thing and the doing more with less, and that type of mentality. But they're not doing more with less than them ticket prices. Holy shit, Billy Bean, what are you doing over there, guy? Holy cow! Give him a break. Inflation hit the fucking Coliseum that hard, huh? Holy shit, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I forget what the article was, so I'm talking out of my ass right now, but they said most of the ticket prices have just gone to the moon.
That's a bummer if you got to pay a lot to go watch a bad team. Like, at least when the Cubs are bad, you can buy the tickets on the secondhand market pretty cheap, Start paying half price for tickets.
Said ticket package increased 71% from its 2019 price, jumping from $2,400 to $4,100 for half a season down the left field line. Another fan's price more than doubled from $2,400 to $4,900 in 2022. It's according to the San Francisco Gate.
So that's why all the season ticket holders left.
Yeah, they said pound sand dudes. How are you gonna do that? What improvements did you make to justify that? Because the cost of living, like, yeah, it went up, but it didn't go up that damn much.
Terrible.
Maybe it has by now. Who knows? That shit's getting wild too. Oh man,
They had good teams back in the day.
yeah,
And like even like the Moneyball era, they had good players, man,
yeah,
that they didn't
developed
pay.
some good dudes. Well, yeah, they couldn't afford to pay them.
They probably could have afforded to pay them. Apparently, they just didn't.
Well, who knows what the revenue split was back then? But yeah, I agree.
It's pretty interesting.
That's why I'm curious how much it costs to operate for a year. I bet traveling shit ain't cheap. And then how much you like allocate to the players for meals. Like some minor leaguers said the best part about minor league spring training is the per diem they get for food. They get like $100 a day or something for food while they're down there, which is more than their fucking minor league salary. So if you get invited to big league camp, it's like a bigger payday than, going to actual regular season. You're making more money at spring training than like, hell yeah, good for you guys. So I wonder how much all that costs. All the food, Holy cow, I can't imagine what a big league clubhouse is like in terms of the spread. I'd love to know. I could ask somebody. I'm going to have to find out now that I said that.
Being a late round draft pick and actually making it, that's got to be the craziest thing, because like the guys that are drafted pretty high, they get paid, right? They get the big signing bonus and all that shit. But if you're drafted in one of those really late rounds, didn't get paid shit, man, and you had to make your way, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no doubt. I just gotta ask this dude this question real quick before I forget. What's the spread like in a big league clubhouse?
But like, I was just looking at Kevin Kiermaier.
Yeah.
He was a 31st round draft pick. What do you think his signing bonus was?
Probably next to nothing. $50,000. Probably next to nothing.
Nothing, right? Yeah. And then he just freaking shot up the rankings and made it to the MLB. And he's been there for 10 years. 3 Gold Gloves.
Yeah, and the Rays paid him a ton of money. They made him like their franchise player, basically. I mean, as far as Rays money, he's a 6-year, $53 million guy because he's a defensive stud.
Yeah, he's about done his contract. He's got one more year after this year. And then the Rays are,
I'm trying to find.
Do they ever pay anybody? That's the biggest problem with the Rays, right? Is that they get really good talent, but then they never keep anybody.
Right. So here he signed for Kevin Kiermaier signed for $75,000.
Yeah. So I mean, think about how fast that probably burned out on him, right?
That's what Nick told us. He got drafted out of high school in one of those super late round picks, and he said it was like a complimentary pick. It wasn't like a real draft pick. Like the team basically was just like, hey, we see you out there doing work. Keep doing work. Like that late in the draft.
Yeah.
He was the 941st pick, and he says I use that as a chip on my shoulder. So this article's from 2014. That's the cool thing about the internet. I just found this article from 2014.
Right. So yeah, Nick was drafted twice.
Here's a name for you: Jeff Beliveau, 18th round pick of the Cubs in 2008. Remember that guy? He's awful.
Who?
Jeff Beliveau.
No, he
Goofy
didn't
name.
exist.
He absolutely did. Probably not for very long. Now I gotta know. Baseball pitcher. He's 35 now.
How about Matt Olson this year, man?
Yeah, how about him?
How about the fucking Cleveland Guardians?
Who?
The team that's in first place in the AL Central right now.
Good for them. Good for them.
They got two guys betting over 400.
Jose Ramirez a stud.
Dude, I just can't. I can't believe he just continues to do it. So good for him,
man. He's not that old either.
He's 29, not that old.
Yeah. Yeah,
but he's like, I feel like he's a guy that'll probably fall off.
Oh, sure.
After 32.
It could happen. He's done real well, though.
Yeah.
Did they have him locked up? They signed him for a long time?
For a little while, right?
I have no idea.
I think so.
No idea.
I think he is. I think that he just got signed, right? They just
he might have. I think you're right in regards to he just got signed.
Yeah, he's having a good year, man. Wish he was on my team. Yeah, he just got a big contract. He's signed all the way through 2028, so he's good.
Yeah, he's good to go.
Yeah.
Good to go. What else do we got, man? See that a couple days ago I had Luke Voigt run over Tyler Stevenson of the Reds. Sorry ass Reds.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Reds. I saw
Terrible.
People up in arms, thinking it was a dirty play. Tommy Pham wanted to fight Luke Voigt. Tommy Pham wanted. Luke Voigt is a fucking monster. I don't care who you are. I wouldn't just go picking a fight with him. And on top of everything else, it wasn't a dirty play. It was baseball. Like it was baseball. The throw took him out of the line. It took him away from where his body was. So Stevenson was standing just sort of off the line, and the throw pulled him this way. He reaches over to catch it and then like lunges back over to make the tag, and Luke Voigt's already sliding at this point. And like, yeah, he got a little bit of a forearm and a hand afterwards, but you stopped that guy's entire momentum sliding. Like, that's just the aftermath of a collision. Like, it wasn't malicious on either side. Both sides were trying to do their job. Stevenson is trying to make a play and tag this dude out. Luke Voigt is trying to slide to the plate. And he's sliding directly towards the plate in the straight fucking line. Like, he's not obligated to run out of the way. Like, he was already sliding before Stevenson even had the ball. Like, he had already started his slide. So, it's unfortunate that someone got hurt. But it was a good baseball play. Just ended badly. You can't remove that from the game.
No, there's certain aspects that like they trying to get a little too soft on.
Right, and you just can't. I'm not saying you need to kill the catcher, but okay, think of it this way. And I'm not trying. I mean, I guess maybe it's a hot take, and I'm not trying to say this in a violent way, and I'm not trying to hurt anyone. But when you were standing on third base and a guy on your team hit a fly ball and you were tagging up, and that catcher's standing in front of the plate blocking him, and he's wearing all the equipment, you kind of wanted to hit him. He's the one wearing all the pads.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, take a shot. You'll land on your ass, you'll get up, and everything will be good. I'm not trying to kill you, but you are standing in front of the plate. So then they're like, okay, now you can't block the plate anymore. That's how they try and solve that. Like, I don't know. It's unavoidable. I'm not saying go drop kick the dude at second base, breaking up a double play like they used to in the 80s and the 70s, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to slide directly to the bag either. You should be allowed to break up a double play as long as you can, stay within a touching distance of the bag. As long as you're not going way out of the line or sticking your foot straight up in the air, you should be able to break up a double play. You should be able to slide through the bag. You shouldn't be able to slide 20 feet through the bag. Like, you shouldn't be able to start your slide after you touch second base, but you should be able to slide through the bag and do what you're supposed to do as a good teammate to break up a double play without trying to hurt somebody. Like, there needs to be like a judgment call there, not just eliminate it from the game because, a few unfortunate things happen on rare occasions and some.
You don't see guys try to break up double plays at all anymore.
No, they're not. They're not allowed to.
It's just and
it's
you
gone.
know what? It's
and you know why? And I don't say
it
that
makes like the double plays almost a certain
easy.
thing.
Yeah,
anymore.
right. That's the whole point behind it. Like, it's not that you're trying to hurt somebody. You're trying to put more pressure on them to do their job, like you would try to block a shot in basketball. Chase Utley somewhere is smiling in the chat. Sanchez is on top of it. And I'm not, I don't want to hurt the guy. I would never want to intentionally hurt somebody. And I've been spiked and cleated and bled on the it happens. It's fun. It's part of the game. It is what it is. But actually getting cleated is not fun at all. It's actually some of the worst shit ever, especially when it gets like directly on your bones. But when you put pressure on somebody, they have more opportunity, or they're going to make a mistake. The lower the level, the easier it is to force someone to make a mistake just from pressure, because pressure is something that you really can't teach. I mean, you can, but in a game situation is a whole nother animal. Sliding hard at a guy, they get uncomfortable. Like, that's a good thing, and we don't have that anymore. I don't like it. And now the catcher thing, like, come on, just let him have that moment. Tommy Pham wants to fight a guy over the dude trying to score a run. Shut the fuck up, Pham. I'll fight you. You know what I mean? Like, dude, you need to fight that bad? You could kick my ass. Let's go.
Sometimes guys
like, I'm more his size. You know what I mean? Fuck. Let's go pick on Luke Voigt's a monster.
It's like Jose Bautista. He needed punched in the face at one time.
He got Odor, baby. Rooting at Odor. Shout out to him. I don't think he's with anybody, though. I think the end of the road came for him.
Yeah.
The Yankees picked him up last year after, I think the Rangers surprisingly cut him. The Yankees kept him most of last year, I think, right? So who knows? Who knows what's going on with him? But yeah, he gave Bautista the business. But Bautista,
he's playing.
Oh,
he's on Baltimore.
Oh, of course he is. I knew that. Everybody's over there on Baltimore.
Oh man, he's batting a hefty 148.
Hell yeah! Sorry ass Baltimore Orioles. Mountcastle's heating up though. Shout out to Ryan Mountcastle.
What's your guy Mullins doing?
Kicking cancer's ass, dude. Mancini. Shout out to Trey Mancini. I like some of them Orioles, man. I like them. Look at that. Look at this here. We got the Mountcastle, the red sapphire update right there for you, with the Hanson's House of Wax sticker. Shout out
Cedric
to Johnny
Mullins,
Hanson.
stud.
Mountcastle's heating up.
Batting hefty 191.
Attaboy. That's the Cedric I know. That's the ceiling Cedric. Shout out to the ceiling Cedric right there. Bam. What you know about Brad Ceiling?
Oh my God.
You believe customers used to pay me to do that shit? It's not that I wanted to. I don't condone hurting.
Can you believe his cards actually got to a point that they were wanted?
Yeah, that's wild. I got autos, unsleeved and unprotected autographs in my ceiling. Stadium Club. Always a classic. Stadium Club. I mean, what if Cedric hangs out with us, it's all good.
Did you take it out of the ceiling and put it back into the ceiling?
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
What else am I gonna? It's part of the allure. You guys don't. Maybe on a behind the scenes episode, I'll show you guys sometime. It's pretty decked out. I put all my thank you notes, all the letters I get, anything nice, anything inspiring, any of that shit. We throw that in the ceiling. Anything funny, we do that. Anything the customers ask, I got this one here. I'll tell you guys about this one right here. So here is a. He's actually an all-star last year. Aramon Marquez, Colorado Rockies. This is from 2019 Series 2. And the significance of this card is. So if you're on YouTube, it would be 55-minute mark. So this card has a pretty bad corner. It's actually creased, and I didn't do that by putting it in the ceiling. It was like that when I pulled it out of the pack. But it saved a rookie Tatis Jr. and a Vladdy no number. It was the card directly on top of those two cards, and it was totally smashed up, and the other two were safe. Because flagship can be rough with the quality sometimes. It's just what happens when you have a lot. So I signed it and made it a 1-1. The Rockies owner in the break told me to do it, so it made a sacrifice for two really kick-ass rookie cards.
A lot of those Vladdy no numbers had touched up corners, right?
Yeah, top left corner is like a thing with those. They're like all nines. Tens are really the short print, if you will, because they're not that short printed. The no number, it's the Vladdy short print updates his true rookie. Nah, man, that Series 2 short print is his true rookie, because it's not like they don't exist. Everybody's got one. So, fuck that update card, in my opinion. Just my opinion. Everybody goes, Brad, you're stupid, you're wrong. Well, no. You can go get a no number card for next to nothing. I would assume. Under $50, I bet. And that's not short print if that's the case. I mean, let's be real. I'm not talking shit. It's a great card. I have tons of them. I think that's a very strong card to have for a very long time. I think it's still in a very buyable place. But it is what it is. Sanchez. Yes, sir. He said Marquez fell on the sword. You absolutely know it. Also, tuning in, Mountcastle's heating up. I love it. They know. They know, baby. The viewers at home know. I appreciate you guys tuning in to the Underground Runaround.
Of the teams that are currently in first place, who do you anticipate most likely to be there at the end of the season?
Run that by me one more time. Let me get up to speed, dude. You can't just drop a bomb on me like that. Let me at least look at the fucking standings. Come on. You're setting me up, dude. I appreciate that.
Of the teams.
Of the teams, let me find the damn standings. Where they at? There we go.
I guess what's better is of the
Ask me the
teams
question
currently
now.
of the teams
First
currently
place?
in, yeah. But let's just say playoffs.
Angels are in first place.
Yeah. 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 How likely is that?
I don't see it ending that way, but cool. Two of them are locks. The Dodgers are a lock in the West. I mean, maybe not. They should be. On paper, the Dodgers are a lock. Anything less than a World Series for the Dodgers is a failure.
Are you surprised by the Rockies?
Yes and no, not really. I mean, anything can happen in Colorado. I'm not saying that's a good team, and I don't think that holds up long term, but they're capable of going on streaks like that. What was their? Yeah, it's all at home. They're 6-4 at home, so they just went on the road. So yeah, they got off to a good start at home, and okay, they're 2-0 on the road, but I don't know what they're playing. They're gonna go play the Dodgers. See how that goes. That'll sort itself out. It's too early to make those decisions on 11 games, because all these. Ask after everybody's played everybody one time. Ask after everybody's.
I'll ask. Well, I'll keep asking.
Yeah, keep asking. Yeah, hell yeah, keep asking then. But yeah, no, not right now. The Mets could legitimately finish in first place. That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they're doing it. They're doing it big without
their
the ground
pitching.
Right now.
Their pitching staff.
Yeah, Miguel's turned into a little stud.
Yeah,
I haven't been talking smack about him, but I've been getting plumbed up on him from the Mets people out there. Shout out to the Mets fans. I mean, Atlanta, nobody else is above 500 right now, so it's just too early to tell. Philadelphia's 5-8. They spent how many million? Their outfield spots are 20 million a spot. What are you gonna? I don't know. Schwarber, man, I love the guy. I don't think he's $20 million a year kind of dude. Good for him for getting paid. I mean, maybe that's what the value of power is. If you want a guy that can hit an absolute bomb once a week for you, we got a guy. We don't know when it's going to happen, but here you go. And if he gets hot, look the fuck out. But he's not going to stay hot forever. But if he gets on a tear, he does that about once a season, where he'll just hit fucking 10 bombs in a couple weeks. You'd be like, all right. And then it's back to the regular 220 batting and getting what you get. The Cubs are right where I thought they'd be. They're in third place. I think that stays pretty consistent.
I'm surprised that they're 500.
Yeah, I mean, they shouldn't be. But they're leading the league in ground ball rate, which is horrifying. 52.5%, like the most in double plays. It's not a good thing.
They set a team record for most
lowest
doubles
average velocity.
most doubles in a single series.
Yeah,
They
against
had
the Rockies, 17.
Mm-hmm. But
Colorado's got a big ass outfield.
It's gonna be they're a really interesting team. That like their purpose. I don't know, man. How the fuck don't you start Keegan Thompson? I don't understand it.
I don't know. I don't like it either. And they picked up Sean Newcomb last night.
And then Mark Leiter started tonight.
Jesse Chavez. And then they traded. Kenny was telling me during a break today they traded Corey Abbott too to the Giants for cash considerations.
What are they doing, man?
Who knows?
Jesus.
Who knows? There's it's just too early to tell if the Mariners maybe surprised me a little bit, but I'm not like shocked by anything because you can't freak out about bad starts. Yeah, the Rangers are 2-9, and they spent a ton of money, but did we really expect them to be good?
No.
Did anybody, No. I think Semion's got off to a real bad start, but it is what it is.
I think Cleveland is the biggest surprise for me so far.
And I don't know. They're just a pitching factory. Nothing surprises me over there because they just have pitchers. They're just a pitching factory. They develop pitchers, or they have the best pitching scouts on planet Earth. It's that simple.
They have a plus 25 run differential.
It's because they have great pitching. They've only given up 43 runs. Look at that. The Yankees have only given up fewer, but the Yankees haven't scored dick. Orioles, 28 runs scored.
No, the Yankees they don't hit. They're funny.
Gallo hasn't had a home run, scored a run, or driven in a run all year yet. He's hitting like 120. It's terrible.
135.
Cut him from fantasy. He hasn't produced a thing for me. I mean, just nothing. I'm putting
Aaron Judge batting 255, Rizzo batting 233, Stanton 216, Gallo 135.
Killing.
And nobody's hitting home runs.
Somebody better put some sticky stuff on their bats. That's all I've been hearing from Yankees fans, talking shit about Cole.
Dude,
talk about them bats. They only scored 39 runs.
Yeah, that's rough. Jordan Montgomery, 0-1 with a 2.51 ERA.
It's tough. It's tough. No, the Marlins kid. Look up Alcantara. Look him up. He's had it the worst. He's had it like Bobby Gibson bad.
Yeah, huh? Jesus.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's like 0-3 with a .99 or something like that.
Oh.
I think is what I saw today.
Versus the Cardinals, right?
I don't know.
I think that was... I could be wrong.
No, I don't think so.
Probably wrong.
That's not what I want.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, never mind. He's 1-0 with the 186.
Yeah, I think it was versus the Cardinals. He's owing whatever with a .99.
That's wild.
Dude.
He's turning into a really good pitcher.
Jorge Soler tearing it up for the Marlins.
It's warm down there. He doesn't have to hide his whole head.
He's
he
batting
did with the Cubs.
152.
I was talking about that on the podcast not long ago. How up north, and you could we were talking about Cuban players or just South American ball players. Talking about like Soler's first spring up here, like he'd wear that thing and cover his whole face, and all you could see was his eyeballs. And then there was a graphic on Twitter this week. I saw it. I started cracking up. Like, oh my goodness, like, that's exactly it. That's what I was describing, and then I didn't have it when I needed it. Kenny says, yeah, 0-3 with a .93 versus the Cardinals. So there you go. That settles it.
The AL East, man, is going to be a wild ride all season.
Oh, yeah, because you could have, if those top 4 teams are all playing to their ability, you could have all 4 of them. It's unlikely, I think, but it's not impossible that they all get in.
I think all 4 get in. I don't know. Who else makes it? The Astros or something? You think the Mariners could keep it up? It'll be interesting. The Mariners will probably win that division, don't you think?
No way. I don't know.
It's gonna be it'll be an interesting year. I think everything's gonna get shook up a little bit. It'll be wild if the White Sox don't win the AL Central. That'd be like a huge.
That'd be the biggest surprise. Biggest surprise outside of the Dodgers, no doubt. No doubt. The White Sox should win the AL Central by a lot, really. Even though the Tigers spent some money and the Royals have got some talent, and the Twins made a lot of moves. I don't know how much better they got, but they made a lot of moves. And Cleveland doing what they're doing. Like, it's become more competitive, but the White Sox are clearly the best team on paper. I don't like saying that out loud, but it's true. So you heard it here first, friends. You didn't hear it here first, but you're hearing it here. And if they don't win the division, that'd be a big letdown, no doubt. The Angels, dude. If they can pitch, if Syndergaard has a good year, and Ohtani can pitch all year and not be an issue, they could win the division. I mean, they have the offensive players. They put up 65 runs already.
I've seen that, like, they've been given Trout a lot of time off. They give him a game off here and there. Like, I wonder if they're like, he's played 9 games so far.
They've played 13.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's had 4 games off in 13 games.
I don't know. Maybe they're not rushing him back. They didn't get a full spring training. Maybe they're just easing him into it. It's April. I mean, that's why they have this. They have 28-man rosters until May. So, he got hit by a pitch in the hand. Kenny did it. He's right. He got hurt for a few games. That's absolutely right. He got hit in the hand. It was on a breaking ball that he turned into. It's kind of his fault. If you watch how he got hit, I think it's 100% his fault. He missed the whole Astros series. That's what we're being told. I love this feature. Isn't this badass?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd like to see him play 150 games, man.
It's possible. So that
makes it.
But he turned into it instead of turning away. He opened up and presented his hand to the pitcher, and when he did that, that breaking ball broke right into his hand. It was just got away from the pitcher. He couldn't see the ball because of the shadow.
I'd like to see him back in MVP contention.
definitely possible. It's definitely possible. You see the thing this week I've been seeing on Facebook social media more so than Twitter is that Manny Machado and Mike Trout cherry-picked stat comparison. Very interesting. Like, people complaining that Manny Machado isn't spoken about with the same esteem and prestige as Mike Trout. Like, he got a $300 million contract. Nobody said he's awful. He's just an asshole, and he doesn't hustle. And people don't like him. That's the difference. And you cherry-pick those stats, so it doesn't... it doesn't factor in everything. You pick the most close, comparable 5 or 6 stats and not all of them and presented a silly argument to be upset. Trout has only been available for 75% of the team's games over the past 5 years. In a few of those years, he still finished in the top 3 at MVP voting, too. To not to argue your point, but... Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. Good thing that ginger ale's gone. Oh, it's Diana. Miss Diana, what's up? What's up? What's up? She's here. I didn't see her. I had my mouse over your first comment. Sorry about that. She says Trout's only been available. So he's missed a quarter of the game. So he's missed a year and a quarter? Is that right? A year and a fifth?
The biggest you can't really compare them fucking guys. Trout has a 419 career on base and a 583 slugging for a career 1.002. So he's got an OPS over 1,000, right? Manny Machado, a 339 on base and a 490 for an 829.
Right.
So like, come on, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I know. I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's just it's weird. You see different takes on the different social media platforms. I don't really mess around on Instagram because I'm on a computer all day, basically. So I do have an Instagram. We post to it sometimes, but I don't know what's going down over there. But on Twitter, you see certain arguments and takes and things like that, and then Facebook, they got some crazy ones sometimes. Facebook, I don't know. There's trolls everywhere, but there's some good ones on the book. Shout out to the book. What else?
You'd like to see, if Vladdy can if he can put up the numbers, you'd like to see him carry some shit. But I mean, dude, Juan Soto is the only guy that's been really had the bat that's been anywhere near Mike Trout so far.
Well, I mean, as far as this season's going, I know it's early on, but let's just talk about some StatCast numbers, because I like I'm not the biggest metrics dude, but I like some of the StatCast stuff where it actually gives you the data of what actually happened. Now, I'm not trying to predict the future based on what happened. I just want to look at what actually happened on a given play. And the guy with the biggest number of balls hit harder than 95 miles an hour, we talked about this before the show, is Marcell Ozuna. And second place is 24. So there's a big gap. He's in first by a significant amount. He's really squaring the ball up. And again, this is an early sample size, so we'll continue to monitor this throughout the season if you guys want to hear about it. But he's second in hard hit percentage at 60.4%. Now, I don't know the definitions. I will probably get more specific with it or dig into it to some more of what actually constitutes a hard hit, because they have the velocity. Is that what 95 miles an hour is? Is that the definition then? Anything above 95 miles an hour is a hard hit ball?
I think so, yeah.
And Christian Yelich is first with 18, but he's first in actual percentage at 66.7%. But going down that list of hard hit balls, we have Rafael Devers in second, which isn't a surprise. The dude rakes, absolutely rakes. Manny Machado is in third right now. He must have just gotten there, because that wasn't the case at the start of the show. And Wander is also tied. So Devers, Machado, and Wander all have 24. Wander's a bit of a surprise, but that's a good thing for him.
Yeah.
The hobby really, to see him hitting that many balls hard, even though he
He's
hasn't hit
doing
a lot of
very
home runs.
well.
And people say that he's not going to hit a ton of home runs. That's his big detractor. People want to use that as the knock on him. Well, he's not going to hit 500 home runs, whatever. Well, who knows? The dude can hit, period. And then Sean Murphy with the Athletics, maybe part of their success. He's got 22 hard hit balls. Matt Olson, Pete Alonso, Alex Verdugo, all at 21. You have Nelson Cruz, of course. He's ageless. Michael Franco, the Nationals. Bo Bichette, Gurriel Jr., Bryce Harper, Judge. So it's a lot of the names you expect. Vladdy Jr.'s right there, too. It just turns into a big mix of guys when you get into the teens. So
Bo Bichette's up there, huh?
Yeah.
He's having a really slow start.
He's hitting the ball hard, though.
Yeah.
So regardless of what their numbers are right now, those are the guys that are hitting the ball the hardest in baseball right now. Sometimes I just like that information more so than what's going on in the actual numbers. Because, maybe sometimes it's better to hit a bloop than a blast. Maybe sometimes you hit the ball too hard right at people. I saw a guy that would line out the center field all the time on an absolute rope. More often than not. He just didn't have enough to hit it any farther than that dude standing right there in center field. But he hit it at him like a fucking bullet. Every time.
Yeah,
farthest hit home run of the season. Any guesses?
Vladdy?
He's second by 1 foot, so you're very close. Yeah. 467 feet for Vladdy. 468 feet, Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, he just hit that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The upper deck at Colorado, ain't it? Third deck. What a shot. CJ Cron, 466, also Rocky. I think he's leading the league early in the year.
Oh. You see the question about the Phillies?
Diana says, I know it's early. No, I don't even know. Who do the Phillies have pitching wise? What do they even have? Their goal is to out offense everyone. And how many runs have they scored as a team? I haven't pulled up the team stats.
I think they might get into so you start looking at that team and they might turn out to be like the Cubs teams that we just had to watch for the last few years.
I mean, let's see here. They've hit 15 home runs. They got 56 RBIs. What's their pitching doing?
But like Schwarber's hitting 170. He's hitting home runs. Harper's hitting 220. Matt
but
Vierling,
that's not their problem. They've given up 67 runs.
so they got multiple problems.
Yeah. So their offense is struggling right now, and it's still doing okay. It's still scoring runs, but they're pitching. But their pitching, I kind of expected to suck, but it's got to be better than that if they're going to win. They're the 5th worst team right now. And it's actually probably worse than that because they've played fewer games than 3 of the other teams. So they might be the worst team going.
So I think
Rangers.
I think Zach Wheeler will be a little bit better than what he is, but like the rest I don't know.
They're third worst in team ERA. The Rangers team ERA is 6.43. They're just handing in runs.
What happened to Aaron Nola?
Couldn't tell you.
Remember when it was all of a sudden, okay, this guy's gonna be a Cy Young contender, and then just fell off, man.
The Phillies are 5th in team average, 7th in on base, and
He
3rd
still
in
had good
slugging.
strikeout numbers. He just started giving up home runs, a lot of home runs.
That'll get you every time.
Maybe he's tipping pitches or something. Like right now, he's giving up 2.5 home runs per 9 innings.
We got a comment here
Oof.
from Dan Heary. Says MLB bought Rawlings in 18 and 20. MLB hit 600 plus more home runs than the record. New ball, Kingman would have hit 80. Yeah. But they already nerfed the ball. Last year they played a whole season with 2 different balls, and nobody knew about it until after the season. And there's already reports of the ball traveling significantly less this year. So who knows? I don't know what's going on. I think a lot of it's cold weather, but I think they have the officially nerfed deader baseball, more dead, less active baseball. But
The
yeah,
only
Dan,
thing I really don't like about
we know what you're saying, buddy.
saying like the older guys would have hit more home runs. It's like, have you watched a home run derby the last 10 years? I'd say they're a little bit more efficient in hitting home runs nowadays.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That's why you see so many more people. Like you used to have a lot more guys in the league that only hit, 6 to 10 home runs. You don't really have that anymore. Now you have a lot of guys that hit 25 home runs, like a large amount across so many teams. It's pretty interesting.
Home run derby is amazing, though. Absolutely
It's
amazing.
it's, it's
I went last year in Denver. It was spectacular. I recommend anybody who has the opportunity to do it. It's worth. I paid a lot of money for the tickets, but it was well worth it. I mean, a lot of fucking money. They were expensive tickets, but it was a
Did you get
blast.
baseball?
No,
Or were
no,
you
but a
not into
kid in front of
baseball?
me, a kid like 6 rows in front of me, got a home run baseball from Salvador Perez that was signed by Salvador Perez. So all of those players in their buckets that their pitcher was throwing to them, there was select ones that were actually signed by the players beforehand. I don't know if everyone knows about that, but it definitely happened because the kid caught the ball, pulled it out of his glove, and freaked the fuck out. He goes, "Oh my god, it's signed!" And the kid just went nuts. I thought it was the coolest thing I saw the whole time I was there. Like, oh, this kid just caught a home run ball from Salvador Perez, and it's signed by Salvador Perez. And then I saw it in a group later. Somebody posted a picture in a group of one of the balls from the game. You could see the bat mark on it, and then you could see where it was signed. So that was
That's
actually a
pretty
cool little
badass.
touch from the All-Star game. I'd like to see them keep doing stuff like that moving forward. I'm not saying make all the participants sign a million balls. They play on Sundays usually, right? So they're coming in Monday. It was like we went super early. As soon as they would let us in, they opened the gates like 3 hours before the Derby. I think to make money. It's a festive maybe 4 hours before the Derby. It's festivities, man. The day before is the Futures game, and then they do the Futures game super cheap, and you can still hang out at the stadium. It's pretty cool, but the Derby, man, they had all the mascots walking around the concourses. Dude, it was very cool. They had all different kind of special stuff going on, and they should continue to keep doing what they're doing because it's a fun time, and it was, like I said, it was expensive, but it's worth it if you can go. And granted, I only say it's expensive because I sat in right field. I sat in the second deck in right field because I wanted to catch a home run ball. I thought that was my best
Right.
chance, and I got close, but it was odd that it was a right-handed batter who hit an absolute bomb to us. I sat in the bomb seats because I wanted to catch a bomb. And it was awesome, man. Everyone should go. I think it's in Dodger Stadium this year, so it's just nonstop. Like, I like the format. I do. They almost need to slow it down like a touch, because when the batter gets in the rhythm, you can either watch the ball they hit go 500 feet, or you can watch the ball watch him swing, and then get focus back on him. Because by the time you finish watching this ball go down, it's hard to pick the next ball up that's already been hit. Like it's hard to like get your head back when you're not watching it on a TV where they got the two cameras. Because once they know it's like not a home run on TV, they cut it back to the batter.
Right.
But me, when you're there, you want to watch the ball. It's like a cat chasing a fucking laser pointer. You know, like where'd this man hit this ball to? I gotta know. And then you gotta get back quick for the next pitch. The home run derby's a treat, an absolute treat. What else we got?
Perez, he's starting off slow this year so far. He's still hitting home runs. That's about it. He'll probably be a lifer at Kansas City, don't you think?
Yeah, if they're willing to work together on a contract that is fair for both sides or whatever, then yeah, I don't see why not.
What about the Braves?
They're tied with the Angels and Jays with 16 home runs. The Angels and Jays have done it in one fewer game, though. The Braves have played 14 games. The Guardians have the most RBIs at 67, which is wild. They're hitting 280 as a team, slugging 442. They're not slugging, but they're hitting. I mean, they're still slugging good for a team.
The Cubs were high for a team batting average.
They were. They're fourth.
Yeah.
They're fourth in batting
so even though
on base.
All those fucking ground balls.
And fifth in slugging.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Fourth in OPS.
So they're not really hitting a lot of home runs, but they're hitting
their pitching's been bad. But yeah. I mean, the offense has been way better than expected.
Dude, they've had they're in the seventh. They're in the seventh inning. They've had 6 pitchers.
They're seventh in ERA.
Or eighth.
Seventh worst with a 4.6 team ERA. And all but one run has been earned, so it's not like the defense has been terrible. Only giving up one unearned run.
I don't get it, dude. Pisses me off. You know how mad it makes me.
Ninth in walks. Here's the problem: they're ninth in walks, and they're only 13th in strikeouts. So they're just they're not surprising anybody.
They don't.
Fourth worst in team whip. So that's a telling stat. They're always in trouble. There's always people on base. There's always a threat. They can't get away from it.
No.
Geez, the Mets batting average against for their pitchers is 186. Teams are only hitting 186 against the Mets. The entire Mets. The Dodgers are 194. The Guardians 201. The Rangers teams are hitting 290 against the Rangers. It's teeing off 274 against the Rockies. 259 against the Cubs. I mean, I knew it. I knew this before this season. I knew this before last offseason even started, that this is what we were going to have to face with the pitching. And yeah, they got Stroman, but he hasn't been good yet, so.
How historically bad are the Reds going to be this year?
The Reds?
Yeah.
I don't know why they have to be historically bad.
Historically bad.
That's pretty bad.
They could lose 120 games, dude. When's the last time a team lost 120 games?
I don't know. The Diamondbacks were awful last year, and they weren't that bad, I don't think. Has a team ever lost 120 games? Only win 42 games all year? I don't know, dude. The Orioles? I don't know.
Let's see. 20 and 134, but that was in 1899.
Yeah, and fuck that.
The New York Mets. The fucking Mets. 1962, they were 40 and 120. That's rough.
Let's look at this Red step chart. Okay, so they don't have a catcher right now. Stevenson is... Well, they have Farmer. Stevenson's not that bad. Joey Votto's not that bad. They have Colin Moran. Jonathan India's on the
Joey
injured
Votto
list.
wasn't that bad. How good? I mean, at some point, he's not going to be Joey Votto anymore, right?
All right, but India was Rookie of the Year last year, playing second base. Moustakas is hurt right now. He's not that bad. Kyle Farmer plays shortstop, so he's... I don't know, is he playing catcher or is he just like an emergency
Votto's
catcher?
38.
And they have Pham, Senzel, Aquino. Tyler Naquin's hurt for them right now. So is Jose Barrero, who's Jose Garcia. They're not going to be that bad. I mean, their pitching sucks.
They're going to be pretty bad, dude.
They're not going to lose no fucking 120 games. They got Tyler Mahle and Hunter Green throws 100 miles an hour, and Luis Castillo's hurt right now. They could have three decent starters.
They got Tyler Mahle. He's got 782. Hoy.
But he's not terrible. It's fucking 3 starts. 2 starts, maybe.
They got Justin Wilson, dude.
Hell yeah. I mean, I don't know. The Pirates might be worse than they are. The Pirates sent down their best pitcher today for service time manipulation.
The Pirates are bad.
Roansy Contreras had like a 2.34 ERA. They sent him down to AAA today. Tell me
Pirates
why?
are bad, but they're beating the Cubs.
Yeah, but why would they even make that move? You know what I mean? Yeah, they option Roansy Contreras. It makes no sense other than service time. He struck out 10 and 7 2/3 innings out of the bullpen and only gave up 3 runs.
The Pirates
he's their top pitching prospect. That's what this article says.
They can have some surprises in that offense with if Brian Hayes starts hitting, Brian Reynolds
that's not the question. The question is, how bad are the Reds? My question is, how bad are the Pirates? Anthony Bonda as a pitcher in their on their big league team. That's the kind of big leaguer they're strutting onto the field, and Jose Quintana's their fucking ace.
Oh man,
come on, man, let's be real.
Aren't you glad that we?
Yeah, Hayes is a nice block to have to build on and around. But let's be... David Bednar is a pretty good reliever they have that I just recognize.
So the Pirates and the Reds, they're just going to beat up on each other.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the fucking...
Dan Vogelbach is the Pirates starting first baseman. He's fucking been bounced around every team in the 2 years he's been in the league. Nobody wants that guy. He's 29 years old.
Dan Vogelbach?
He's played for 4 teams already. Seattle traded him to Toronto. Toronto got rid of him and sent him to Milwaukee. And Milwaukee said, we don't want you. Go to fucking Pittsburgh. So that's...
Yeah, the Cubs drafted him.
Yeah, and the Cubs were like... they invited him to one lunch, saw all the shit he ate, and was like, nah, we're good, dude. You have no discipline. Can't have you here.
He's having a year this year.
He's hitting 324 right now. But he's built so poorly, and I can say this because I'm also built poorly, but I'm not even his numbers. But he doesn't have the energy to last a whole season. That dude's got to get some endurance going on there. He's going to run out of gas here by May. Saw it with fucking... I quit last year in Chicago. Mercedes.
6'2", 270. They listed.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
Jesus.
His face looks very big in that picture. He looks like he's 300 pounds. Got a fat face.
Probably is 300 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, Michael Chavis is okay, with Boston. Over there now, they have Cole Tucker, and that Hoy Park kid was good in the minor leagues last year. Hayes, but
Brian Reynolds is good.
Brian Reynolds is good, but that's it. They don't even have an outfielder. Look at their depth chart. Ben Gamble is listed as their starting left and right fielder. They don't even have 3 big league outfielders on their roster right now. That's not a joke. That's a real thing. I see a ton of Pirates Twitter because Brozotti. He's been ragging on him forever, and then the Pirates contingent rags on him back because he's a huge Anthony Alford fan. Not really. And that's the guy that's going to, be on the big league club when he's healthy.
They have Jake Marisnick now. They're going to win it all.
No, they're not. That's just, Jake Marisnick hanging out in the big leagues. Good for him, but the Pirates are going to be awful, man.
So
awful.
that
awful. That's why I said the NL Central is the worst division in baseball. I mean, the AL Central might be, but
NL Central's pretty bad.
Two bottom teams, the Reds and the Pirates,
the Cubs are pretty bad.
Yeah, but the Reds and the Pirates are very bad. The Cubs are really bad too, though. No mistake. No mistake about it. Their pitching's terrible. I knew this, though. I feel like Nostradamus. It's only 2 weeks into the season.
Yeah, the Royals suck. Tigers suck. The Twins suck. I thought Cleveland would suck, but they're doing okay right now, so we'll see where they end up after a while. But yeah,
they have pitching, though, so they could be fine. They could be fine. Jesus Sanchez with another home run today. 2 for 3 today. 3 runs scored. This kid is having a fantastic beginning of the year.
Mike Tyson. He's having a good year.
Oh, Mike Tyson beat up a dude on a plane that wouldn't fuck off. I got no problem with that.
No, that guy deserved to get punched.
Yeah. Oh, man. Zach Plesac for Cleveland beat the White Sox tonight. Hometown kid. Shout out to Zach Plesac.
He's having a good year so far.
He had a 1.64 ERA.
Yeah.
Coming into I don't know if this is updated or not. He went 6 2/3 tonight, gave up 1, it looks like. Got the win. Only 3 strikeouts. But a 1.35 ERA. Yeah, and his other start, he gave up 2 maybe. He's only made 2 starts.
You see Dan Plesac talking about it all the time.
I would too. Hunter Green starts against the Cardinals tomorrow. He's had some tough assignments out of the gate. But the Reds are just bad. Poor guy. Poor guy.
Yeah, so far the I've enjoyed watching baseball so far this year. How long do you think it'll take for people to forget about the whole labor dispute? Is it gone already?
I don't know. I don't know if that's anything we'll see as the public. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's anything that'll get out, because Manfred, what'd he do? Buy everybody some headphones? Say, I'm sorry.
That was stupid. What a fucking terrible idiot.
What an idiot. What a dumbass move. You think big league ball players can't buy their own fucking headphones? What are you even doing? They probably got like bugs in them, so Manfred can get ammo. They're probably all wired. Saving it for the next CBA. It's the old Trojan horse by headphone. Being wild. Miss Diana says, keep your eye on Tanner Houck of the Red Sox. He has dynamic stuff. Well, Facebook would like you to believe that the Red Sox are rebuilding. Those are the types of people you see on the internet. And that's why we're here doing this show, to let you know
I still like the Red Sox.
The Red Sox are not rebuilding. That's the whole point. How do you have an entire infield where all 4 positions hit more than 25 home runs last year and say that's a rebuilding team?
Devers is a beast.
Devers is a stud. He's like one of has almost the most hard hit balls in baseball right now.
Yeah, he's really good, man.
Big fan. Big fan.
That was somebody for like baseball cards. You could buy his stuff for a long time, really cheap. While he was still good. The fucking guy was good and his shit wasn't worth anything. So.
Yeah. I don't even know where some of his stuff's at now, but I can't imagine it's a ton.
Verdugo's been good this year, dude.
He has been. The people that have him are screaming that they won the Mookie trade. They say he's better than Mookie Betts, because Mookie's been struggling for the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's asinine.
I know it's been funny. It's been funny. The internet loves to do what the internet does, man. It's a wild
Verdugo's
place.
good, but Mookie Betts is good.
It's 2 weeks into the season. Is my whole point.
Right?
Maybe that's what the episode should have been titled. Relax. I should have hit him with that Aaron Rodgers title.
It's like call me when fucking Verdugo wins an MVP. What kind of bullshit? I don't know.
Call me when Verdugo throws a dude out from the opposing foul pole.
Yeah.
like it's nothing. When he's robbing home runs, show him. Come on.
5 straight Gold Gloves.
Relax. They're 2 weeks in. Without a full spring training. Relax. It's like Rizzo. Rizzo never hits in April.
He's hitting home runs right now.
Yeah, and he's still got it's what, 310 down the line at Yankee Stadium?
Yeah, dude, it's going to be good for him.
Yeah. That's probably why I signed there. Nobody wants to be a Yankee, but it's hard to argue with swinging in that park if you're a lefty.
You can play there until you're, 40, no problem, and just sit there and hit home runs.
Yeah. Catch little hangers, fucking dip them over there to the 310. You don't even got to square them up. Just fucking poke them over there. Like fucking pitching wedge. Bring your pitching wedge to work day at Yankee Stadium. It's nothing. That's like Wrigley Field always. You always hear that people say Wrigley Field's such a hitter-friendly park. Like, that depends on 2 fucking things, amigos. 1, the wind, which usually is never blowing out. And 2, it's deep as shit down the lines. It has the deepest lines in all of baseball. It just has friendly gaps, and the gaps aren't that short. It's just not as deep as some other gaps. But down the lines is deeper than any other ballpark. So get that Wrigley's a hitter's park nonsense and relax. The wind's blowing out, sure. It is the Windy City, but more often than not, you get that wind blowing in from the lake, and it's, not going to be the best day to hit. So that's all. That's all I wanted to say. Strange. It's strange to hear Wrigley Field come up as a hitter's park before you hear about the South Side. If you're going to talk about a stadium in Chicago to hit, talk about the Cell. Go hit there. It's pretty friendly in the gaps and down the lines. It's not a very deep park at all. Cincinnati's a good hitter's park, not in, in terms of parks, not in Colorado.
Yeah, it's pretty. Here you go.
What you got?
I got the list.
Oh,
most hitter-friendly parks.
What's the list based on? Does it say what the criteria is? Is it a respectable source here? That's all. I'm trying to.
Total park factor.
Oh, not what's the total park factor?
ESPN's Park Factors grades ballparks around baseball in 6 different categories: runs scored, home runs, hits, doubles, triples, and walks. And the grading system is pretty straightforward. Any grade higher than 1,000 favors the hitter, while anything below 1,000 favors the pitcher. There are no cumulative totals for ballparks across all 6 categories, which check. Totaling up the ratings in all 6 categories and dividing total by 6 would give us 1 overall park factor, which we'll call total park factor.
Holy shit, Batman. You're breaking up. How are you breaking up? You still there? Total park factor?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So how many, is there more pitcher-friendly parks than hitter-friendly parks? Or are there more hitter-friendly parks than pitcher-friendly parks? I would assume it's more hitter-friendly.
More hitter-friendly.
Yeah.
There are 2, 3.
How old is this article?
12. It's a few years old.
Okay, so Houston brought in center field. I don't know how long ago that was. Baltimore just made their left field a little bit deeper, but that's probably still a hitter's park. Baltimore.
Well,
I would
PNC
assume
Park is the worst.
the most pitcher or the most hitter.
Is the most pitcher friendly.
Really?
And
Why
then
is that?
Safeco Field,
Yeah, Safeco. I'd say Detroit.
Dodger Stadium,
I would assume Detroit and Dodger Stadium would have been 1 and 2.
Progressive Field, City Field,
New York, the Mets,
Busch Stadium,
St. Louis,
Angel Stadium, Petco Park, Yankee Stadium.
Fuck this list. Well, that's because you can't hit any doubles there because it's a home run or it's. I don't like the total park factor. I'm not with it. When I say hitter friendly parks, I mean fucking home runs.
AT&T Park,
Because everything else is
Nationals Park.
Everything else is not based on the park. It's based on the competition you're playing. On a ball in play, it's up to the defense to field the ball, not the park dimensions. So the total park factor is stupid. I'm over this already. Hitter-friendly parks should solely be based on the elevation, the way the ball carries in a stadium, like the density of the air. Like that's where your fucking analytics should come into play for your hitter-friendly parks. It's home runs only. It's how fucking dense the air is, how hot and cold the average temperature at game time, the average, you know what I mean? The elevation of the land, the flight patterns, all that shit. The slicing effect of a baseball as it floats through the air. No, analytics people aren't smart enough to figure that fucking shit out. But they're going to sit here and tell me that you got to pull the starting pitcher the third time through the rotation. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. When you tell me some real information,
okay,
like the most hitter-friendly parks for hitting home runs, because everything else is up to the fielder. Yeah, tell me this.
New York, number 1.
The Yankees?
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. And what were they on the other list?
Look, they don't even have this list is so fucked up. This is 2022. Hang on, let me change it to 20. You want me to change it to 21? Or leave it on 22? We'll go whole season. Let's go whole season.
Yeah. Tell me last year. That's fine.
Okay, Baltimore.
As the most hitter-friendly park?
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. That's a hitting park. I agree.
And then Florida.
The Marlins?
I suppose.
They brought their walls in, I think.
This fucking list, dude, is fucked up, dude.
Well, then get off the thing. Quit feeding me bullshit.
It's on ESPN.
Oh.
It's on ESPN, but like all the park names, it's not. No, it's not the Marlins. It's Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is number 2. Marlins is number 6.
Oh, okay. Well, that's because it's night. See, but that's because it's warm in Florida all the time.
Cincinnati is number 3.
Yeah, that's a little tiny stadium.
Then they have Chicago,
and the Reds are so bad the balls can't wait to leave. You know what I mean?
But both Chicago fields are in the top 10.
Okay.
I can't tell you which one's which because the fucking thing's fucked up. But then nothing. New York is number 11, so it's under both Chicago fields.
I don't know if somebody's trying to make a web on my head or not. It's not cool. Let's wrap this thing up, Pav. What else you got?
Right. I got.
We gotta come back to the home run park thing later.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see because right now Yankee Stadium's number 120. in 2022 by a large
But
margin.
but Baltimore can also be a lot just because of how good the AL East is too. I don't think that answers our question of the most neutral home run friendly park, because look at the sluggers
Combining
that
the
come
AL
rolling
East with
through.
Baltimore's pitchers.
Yeah, and put them in that park. Hell yeah, they're gonna lead the league in
Yeah.
home runs allowed. John Means got one good start.
Oh fuck.
Other than that, it was a wrap. So yeah, I get it. Oh, there's your little buzz coming back too. Yeah, it's definitely time to wrap this thing up, guys. If you like the live, I think I like the live format, Pav. What do you think?
Yeah.
It's the same as what we normally do anyway. We didn't do
We get
anything
some
any
added
different.
bullshit here. I like
Yeah,
bullshit.
and then you guys got to add some things to the conversation, so we didn't sound as stupid as we usually do. So that's pretty cool. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll probably do it live next week. The audio stuff will be up shortly. I just do a few things with the equalizer and the audio. I'm not a sound engineer, or I'm not even a real producer. Let's be real here. This is just for fun. We like to do it, and enough of you guys like listening to it that we keep doing it. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us tonight, especially if you were here live. Like I said, we'll try and keep everybody in the loop as to when and where we're gonna do things and that moving forward, because we're a day late. Pav was getting his fiber internet hooked up. I had all kind of stuff going on, and we got families and things like that, and all that stuff comes first. We do this for fun, so it's a day late this week, but hopefully all that means is that we're just a day sooner for you next week. So you got that going for you. Pav, you got anything to say, bud?
Keegan Thompson should be starting in Major League Baseball. For the love of God, let him fucking start a game.
I've one of the biggest Keegan Thompson first Bowman collections. I tell people I don't prospect sports cards. I buy who I like. I like Keegan Thompson, not because I think he's going to be a bazillion-dollar pitcher, but because he should be a big league fucking starter in the MLB, just like Pav said. Thanks, everybody. Have a great evening. We'll see you next week. Peace.